So Helldivers 2 Studio Boss says it will never add PvP, and for anyone looking for it, I recommend Tarkov. What the? I mean, why would you, of all the things to recommend, why would you recommend Tarkov? Don't you like your user base? Like, for real. You must hate them. Why would you put them on that addictive, masochistic game? Managed democracy is about to be about working together after all. This is a great, great picture of what co-op horde shooters can do. As a longtime player of the genre, anything I play games like Warframe. I'll come back to Warframe a lot. Even though Warframe had PvP, the community generally had a different attitude from a competitive standpoint. It was more about who does something first. It's almost like akin to MMOs, like worlds first and who gets geared first and that kind of thing. It's a different kind of competitiveness that you don't see in like BR games and PvP games, straight up PvP games, even MMO PvP. You don't see that kind of stuff. And with Call of Duty and other BRs and other shooters and MOBAs and just a lot of competitive games, they have a reputation of having toxic users. So Helldivers 2 said they will never add PvP. He was responding to a request on Twitter that Helldivers 2 adds in a more murdery player-on-player mode. To complement his co-op, to be honest, he's got a pretty good reason for refusing. He says Helldivers won't be getting PvP in order to reduce toxic elements from the community. Yeah. Which, hey, any of us who have spent more than 5 minutes or 5 seconds in online PvP mode can say it's definitely a real thing. We want an environment that's supportive, fun, and we are fighting on the same side. And I think that's what we got. In a later tweet, he clarified quite reasonably that Arrowhead was not scared of adding PvP mode, that players who want that kind of gameplay had plenty of options to choose from. This is true. There are plenty, actually most games that provide PvP. And Arrowhead makes that games that for people that just want to have a challenging time with friends, but in a PvE setting. Horde shooters, co-op horde shooters, you know, Destiny, Warframe. Man, I think they put out an article about how this Helldivers was like a throwback to like a whole bunch of horde shooters from the past, and they brought up Lost Planet 2, and immediately I just had this real huge flashback of nostalgia because I absolutely loved Lost Planet 2. And it was like they were saying that how Helldivers was like a combination of Lost Planet 2, and it listed a bunch of games like Warframe and a bunch of other horde shooters and stuff like that. But it's a good time, man, to just sit and shoot hordes of something with your friends with abilities and protect objectives and progression. I think one of the unique things about Helldivers is that it adds a meta progression that we see in games like a game that I love, like Foxhole and like PlanetSide, where there's conquest. We even saw it like way back in the day with MAG, because MAG had 3 factions. It was PvP, but it was still this meta progression of conquest where what you did mattered. So it gave you a reason to log in every day, other than just shooting somebody and getting some points and getting the top of the leaderboard. There was some bigger, higher objective, which I think is one of the most addictive things about video games. When you work towards something with other people, it makes it 5 billion times better than it would without that. So I think Helldivers has a good formula with that. I think without that, the game would be good, but it wouldn't be great. I think people wouldn't be so into the lore and everything if there weren't some sort of a meta progression of we need to kill these robots type of deal. But yeah, it makes sense that PvP can add toxicity, and I think Helldivers 2 is fine without PvP. I don't know. I don't see any problem with him not adding PvP. Some people are a little salty about it. I don't see an article where he says he recommends Tarkov. Oh, here it is. It says driving the point home. He said that if you want PvP, I recommend Tarkov. Oh, there it is. But see, Tarkov has a lot of PvE too. It's just, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend Tarkov if you want PvP. You want PvP, just go play Quake. You know, you want to shoot somebody with a gun, go play Quake. Go play some Quake multiplayer, you know. Don't play a BR, just play Quake. Something like that. Check it out. It's over on PC Gamer. Helldivers is going to be PvE forever.